with your creative, call out Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
When something's working, let it work. And if you want to make edits to it or improvements to it, just duplicate the campaign.
But if things are working, stick with it. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real, the holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inboxes flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com. Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manel and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
So we have roughly about 4 weeks or so coming for Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up. And, we're getting ready with a lot of our clients, all of our clients, and our personal businesses as well. So I thought it would be a good idea to kind of go over some things that we kind of look over, or quote unquote checklist of things that we look over for our Facebook ads or social media ads in general, that we thought that, it'd be good for you guys to kind of review before the time comes and it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Black Friday, Cyber Monday is preparation prior, right? And there are some things that you should and you shouldn't do. And we're going to talk about those today because we're telling you this because we've made the mistakes before.
Right.
And there are some ones that you would think are just very, elementary, so to speak. But when you're in the heat of the battle, you kind of don't think about them. So,
everybody out there is, running their businesses day to day. A lot of people that we're speaking to on this podcast are growing their businesses, are small businesses, and they're just in the thick of things leading up to it, and end up waiting to the last minute to think about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it gets difficult at that time because the competition's so high. Everybody's vying for that spot in front of somebody on the news feed. So it gets tougher and tougher as you get closer. So
what's the first one, Kev? What is the first thing that you would say is on your list during Black Friday, Cyber Monday?
I think the first thing, and it doesn't even involve like your actual offer for Black Friday, and we kind of touched on it a couple of weeks ago in our Preparing for Black Friday podcast, and is start some ads early to start building up your audiences in your Facebook and your
top
Facebook
of funnel ads.
Start bringing some people in, start building that awareness up, get your messages out there. So like when it's time for your ads to go out there, you have like fresh audiences. You have fresh eyes on your ad. You have new eyes on your ad. You have a bigger, broader audience to start serving your ads up to.
Yeah, I actually, my number one thing actually would be prior to that would be to have your ads set up a week before so that they all get approved and you can schedule them for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. That, I think that was like a big one for me, Kev. Like I felt like, I know it's such an easy thing, but I feel like it makes sense. Like instead of doing it like a day or two before and then just hoping that they get approved in time, get your ads done a week in advance and have them approved and scheduled so that you're not twiddling your thumbs, 24 hours or 48 hours before you're ready to launch.
Yeah, I do that a lot with like just even during the year, like when it's not Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I just like create the ads and I just put them in draft. Like if I'm not quite ready to launch the ad yet, and you don't have to schedule them necessarily, they just have to be there in draft. You'll notice that you'll be working on an ad and you're not done with it. You're still working on it. You'll get an email that says it's approved. Sometimes I go into a panic, like, oh shit, did I launch that ad by accident?
Right.
But if it's sitting there saved as a draft, Facebook will go in and its system will review it and give you an approval on it before you're actually ready, to actually post it. So that's huge, because if you're looking to post an ad even the day of Black Friday, say you're starting the Monday before Black Friday and you're starting that ad that same day, it could take a day or two to get approved, or worst case scenario, doesn't get approved at all. And then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So why don't we, Kev, go back and forth? Why don't you tell me your second most important thing, and then I'll go to my second.
Well, I don't really have an order to my list, to be honest.
It doesn't have to be in order, but just give me another
my
one.
notes here. Another one I have here is, and it's such a simple thing, and it came up today in one of our client meetings, and it's something that we didn't do and we didn't think about, and it's just looking at what you did last year and just seeing how those things performed, and decide whether you have to create something new or just kind of like open the door back up to those old ads. Not necessarily old ads, like but the offer can be the same, the messaging can be the same, the creatives can be the same. No one from a year ago is going to see your ad on Facebook and say, oh, they just did this, they did this last Black Friday, why are they doing the same exact thing again? Like, I don't think it's a huge, everybody always wants to be so creative and reinvent the wheel every Black Friday to create this really special offer when they have this offer that worked a year ago during the same time when everyone had the same thought process, and they think they have to like change everything around to get better results.
Well, yes. And I think that is like, so one thing that I think that amateur marketers, the mistake that they make is that they don't use data, right? Like they don't, like, when you have a history of stuff, even if it's failed, it's still useful data that you can go back to and look at and say, look, oh shit, this worked, that didn't work. And if you feel the need to refresh the offer, you can certainly do that. Use different creative, use different videos, use different copy, but use the same offer that you already know. Like we had this offer from one of our clients that killed it last year. In fact, the only thing that stopped it was that we had to turn them off because Black Friday, Cyber Monday was over. So instead of like, we had this conversation today with our clients, like instead of reinventing the wheel, like we had this thing that killed it. Like, why wouldn't we you want to make new ads, you want to make new copy, that's fine, but use the same offer. I think using data, I think, is a really important part of this. Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have the same impact, but you can at least use it as sort of like a compass to kind of, steer you in a direction that you.
Yeah. And you can use some of the other things, not just last Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the things you did from last Black Friday, Cyber Monday, leading up to this Black Friday. Use that data to help drive your offers and your messaging and things like that.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good number two. My number two, Kevin, because you're looking at your list like you're about to do number three.
No, I was just, I'm trying to get my thoughts in order here, Jason. You know how I like to get my thoughts in order before I speak.
Yes. For me, I think that's a good number too. I don't want to say that because that really could be before even number one, but I would say that's a really good one. But another good one is um not to change your ads, right? Like instead of editing your ads during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, create a new one and like let them both run together if you have to for an hour or two. Don't get too, oh my God, I got two ads running. It's going to screw everything up. Like, no, like instead, this is like a lesson I think we learned is like when something's working, let it work. And if you want to make edits to it or improvements to it, just duplicate the campaign with the same ads, the same settings, and then whatever that one or two things you wanted to change in that first one. For example, I'll tell you one that happens to me a lot. Whenever we run ads and then I start seeing the ads in my news feed, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't exclude our pages. Now I think they're doing away with that, Kevin. When I was doing these new ads, there was a message saying that they're doing away with it. I don't know. But the point is that like a simple change like that, you don't really want to screw anything up. So I would just duplicate the campaign and make that little change and then wait until it's actually showing some history. So I would let both of those run at the same exact time and just make sure that second ad is having the same success as the first one.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing this time of year because the thought process of these campaigns are kind of go against what Facebook and Instagram and these platforms say to do. Like they say to let ads run for a long period of time and let Facebook learn and get better. But this is a different kind of time. Like you have 2 weeks. Let's say we usually do 2 weeks, a week for Black Friday, a week for Cyber Monday. And you have to be prepared to watch your ads. And as they, in that time period, when you see it working, don't touch it. And this is a mistake that we've made because we thought, we wanted to just, we wanted to switch from Black Friday to Cyber Monday. So we changed the creative a little bit. Its offer was exactly the same, but we went in, we changed the creative. What that does is it completely throws off Facebook's algorithm when it's starting to learn, it's going through that learning process. And you've gone 7 days, done really well. And just because you feel like it should say Cyber Monday, you go in and change the ad. And that kind of just throws things out of whack. And we saw like a 50% decrease in sales last year when we just made that one mistake. So I would just stick with a plan. Obviously, if it's not working, if you're going like 3 or 4 days and you're like, I'm just spending money, then you need to maybe adjust. But if things are working, stick with it.
Okay. So my question is, with your example, if Black Friday is over with, then what do you do?
Well, what we did actually is we just combined the two. Like we had Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Like we just
I like that. I like that.
Maybe I wasn't clear with that. Like
combine
the two. I mean, it's just like what it is.
You didn't say that, but that makes all the sense. Is like, combine them together. And at the end of the day, like whether people are buying on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, we always recommend to our clients. Our clients don't always listen to us, but we just say continue the same offer. Maybe in your emails where you have the flexibility of changing your creatives, make it Cyber Monday focused. But when you have a 2-week period where your ads have to run, they have to learn, they have to do all these things, keep them consistent. So just combine the two messages. We actually did a video, and the copy said Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale going on now. And the video across the banner, it had the offer in the middle, like it showed the price that we're giving. And then it had because we had different creatives for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we just put those in the banner together. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real. The holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inbox is flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com. Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. So that kind of leads me into like the next one is just like, with your creative, call out Black Friday and Cyber Monday, make it clear. Don't like beat around the bush and just have an offer. Like say it's Cyber Monday, say Black Friday's here, say these kinds of things, because those are the things that people are actually actively looking for, and it will draw their attention because they're thinking they're getting the best deal that they can. So,
and I think that for the psychology also is like they're actually looking for the deals too. Like that's the other side of it is like they're looking to spend money at this time of year. Kev, my number 3, and it's probably just this year only, is if you're selling physical products and you know that it may arrive to your clients late, either let them know, right? You could let them know, like you can put a message on their website and say, look, due to COVID and supply chain issues, things are just running a little bit behind. Or another thing you could do is start your ads actually early and say in your ads, if you want this by Christmas, you have to purchase by whatever date.
Yeah, I mean, that's happening more and more every year. People are starting earlier and earlier and earlier. And I think it's no different, especially now. And to your point about, not being able to get the products out on time, I think people they get scared that they're going to lose a sale because of it. But you have to be really upfront with people. And I think people will appreciate that if you say to them, you're not going to get this till, after Christmas. We'll do whatever we can to make sure you have something to represent the gift under your tree or something like that. But if you're just like kind of like put it on the side and don't really tell people, that's when they get turned off, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and they're more willing to then find out about it in their order confirmation later and then cancel the order. Just be upfront with them and let them know what's going on with your business as far as the shipping goes.
We got next.
I totally agree. I know you're not a big creative guy, like you as much as I am, but I think to get your creatives in place and make sure you have the right formats for your Facebook ads, have all the different sizes ready. I've been noticing a lot lately that people are doing a lot of they're just putting one ad out there and they're publishing it to the story ads and the same creatives to everything. And I think there's a lot of value in setting up different formats for different platforms, like a square ad for your Facebook news feed and your Instagram news feed. And then like your vertically formatted ads for your story ads. Because we recommend you do the automatic placement. So you're going to want to customize that for every placement in my eyes.
All right. So I will put a little disclaimer on what you said, because not a disclaimer, but a little bit. You're right. I was always, I was not a creative guy. I don't I wouldn't say that, but I think like with this whole iOS 14 update, I think testing different creative is going to get a lot more important because you you have to give Facebook more data now, right? Where in the past they were it's really easy for them to track everything and attribute everything, and now it's getting a little bit more tricky. So I think that you know I think that it's really important to have different creatives so you can give Facebook more information. So I think my position on that has changed a little bit with the iOS 14 update, but um
I think they
yeah,
like it. I think as a platform, because we know, they control the ads, and they have these so-called, and they're not called relevancy scores anymore, but they're called like quality scores or whatever. And I think your costs, I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think you're going to pay less and you're going to get a higher score on your ads if you have creatives that are specifically designed for different placements. It just makes sense to me. It makes sense for Facebook to want to put, because you've seen ads in stories, Instagram stories, that you can tell. I can tell because I do this, but it's just like a whole page of text, and you're like, that's just the text from the Facebook post that they put into their Facebook ad. And I think just because I know that Facebook's very concerned about their user experience, that they're going to try to put the right formatted content in front of people, more likely to put it in front of people, if that makes sense.
yeah. Okay, I got another one. Do you have another one over there, Kev?
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is one we spoke about today. And I think it's really important because I think it's be very difficult for brands to do this. And it's because of just the way corporate America is built. But one thing that I think that you're gonna have to get used to going forward is not attributing your marketing or even reporting on the various platforms, your ROI on the various platforms. What I mean by that is with this iOS 14 update, the big thing was with Facebook, but it's not just Facebook. It's like every platform has a harder time attributing sales to your ads. It doesn't matter which one it is, really. But yeah, I mean, I think that looking at your ad spend as a whole and then seeing what your ROI is on the platforms collectively, I think that is that's going to be the norm going forward because like I know, Facebook really made it really easy to attribute sales to their platform. And that's really, that was really the genius with Facebook, right? Like you were able to see all this data. And now we're going back to you have to now be a good marketer, right? It's not just about knowing every little thing about somebody. So now you can sell them anything, right? It's changing a little bit now. Now you actually have to be good at marketing and good at copy and good at that sort of thing. So, we're encouraging all the people that we work with to sort of look at their marketing spend as a whole and see what they got back as a whole instead of saying, oh, I spent 1,000 on Facebook and I only got back 200. Like, well, like we're going through that right now with our journal, right? Like we things are slowed down a little bit. October's always slow though. It really is just a bad month because everything's kind of happening next month.
We should just write a note on our computer that says October's slow because we had the same conversation last year.
Yeah, it's a slow month. And so like whenever we get sales at this point, we know it's coming from our ads, right? So the point is like, okay, yeah, like maybe Facebook is not telling me that all their ads or that all the sales came from their platform, but if you do a little investigation and you look at where they came from, if they're on your email list already, those kind of things will tell you if they're new orders. With Klaviyo, actually, it's pretty easy to do that. Like you have a segment right now, like new customers in the past 24 hours that tells us and then you can look at each of those people and say, oh, okay, this person's on our list. This person isn't on our list. Okay, so they must have come from Facebook. You kind of you have to dig a little deeper, but the point is looking at every one of these platforms rather than individually, looking at them as a whole.
Yeah, that's something that came up today too in our conversation as far as, cost of acquisition and stuff, reading the numbers in Facebook. And it's funny because we've been talking about this for a long time. Like we've been saying that this multi-channel marketing strategies, it's like it's like money in and money out. Plus the time and the stress and pressure that goes into trying to track down every single dollar and where it came from. It's time better spent, trying to optimize something that's already working. You know what I mean? So money in for us, money in, money out. Really, I think that's the biggest. Obviously, you'll be able to see if something's completely dead and not working. But when you're trying to like say, okay, I got 12 orders today, but Facebook's only saying 9. Let me try to figure out where those other 3 are coming from. It's a waste of time.
Right.
The last one I have on my list is more technical, really, and it's just something that I've been dealing with over the last couple of weeks, not with Facebook ads, but with Google. Is just to make sure, and this is for if you do run dynamic product ads and things like that, is to make sure all your your catalog feeds and everything are good to go. Are clean. They're following the guidelines. You don't have any issues with the platforms connecting. Make sure everything's synced up, because and it's kind of a good thing that it's happening now, but I've been going through hell with Google Ads Merchant Center, and it's like it's almost like this invisible thing that these robots are going and looking at information and it's not matching up, and you're like, I can't see the numbers as clearly as these Merchant Center robots can see. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. So just make sure all that information is good to go.
Well, but why'd that happen? Because we've made changes that we probably shouldn't be making this close to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? Like that's another side of it. It's like, don't be effing with things a couple weeks before you're the biggest time of the year for physical products, right? Like
exactly.
That's like a big thing. Don't be making big changes right now. It's
like
just
like shipping costs, shipping changes, shipping calculations,
taxes,
tax calculations.
Yada, yada.
Yeah. Those are all kinds of things that kind of like are generated automatically. It's not something you have total control over. So if you're not having an issue now, don't like make those changes now, because who knows what's going to pop up.
No, and then anything can come up. I mean, like you're going through this right now where one of our clients changed like the way the taxes were being calculated, and Google has been down for weeks because of it.
It's been horrible.
So don't make those changes. Kev, something slipped in my mind. What was the one thing I wanted to talk about? Not the one thing, but remember I said to you,
you wanted to talk about increasing your resources.
Yes. Okay. So that's another thing that I think if you're not using Shopify, then you can ignore this because you really can't do anything about it. But if you're on like a custom build, or you're on Magento, or you're on WooCommerce like we are, you may want to look into your resources of the website. Kev, this is something that we need to figure out with our business. We have these little bottlenecks in our website that really are slow. They slow things down. And if you're going to have increased traffic at this time, you want to make sure that your website can handle it. So you may want to update or upgrade your hosting platform. You may want to make sure your CDN is working. You may want to, make sure these things are all optimized so that the website is moving quickly. That's something that we talk about, and sometimes we do, but we probably should be doing more of that with the journal, Kev, is like actually going through every step and fixing the problems that are coming up. In fact, Kev, I mean, this is a side content, but we may be getting to the point where it's time to switch platforms, because these recurring revenues are gonna stop soon.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that too, man. It's like something that we really should put some attention on, especially now. Every time I go on the website, like I get bothered by something else, and I'm like, Like we should fix that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard though. With WooCommerce, you fix one thing, something else breaks. They update a plugin, something else. That's one thing we've been going through now is like the plugin was updated and it fucked everything up. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That about does it for me, man.
Me too.
All right, cool, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.
Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Are you struggling to respond to all your social media comments, DMs, and customer emails? Well, you're not alone. That's why ChatDesk came up with a solution to supercharge your support team instantly. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading brands such as Thinx and Shea Moisture lean on ChatDesk to increase revenue and customer satisfaction. Get started for free at chatdesk.com or click on the link in our show notes. Attention e-commerce founders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, marketers, and growth hackers. If you're working around the clock to build your dream e-commerce business, you need an e-commerce marketing platform that works just as hard as you do. That means you need Klaviyo. With Klaviyo, you'll delight customers and drive revenue at the same time. With personalized email and SMS marketing campaigns, you can design and send in minutes. For more, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.